Inside the
Yeah.
brake drum
Okay.
is a brake lining.
Yeah, I see it.
Now the brake lining is the part that pushes on the brake drum to stop the bus.
Okay.
And the brake lining wears out. Same as on cars.
Right.
Yeah. So the brake lining, people call it brake pad. I don't like that term. Reason is, brake pad is specifically for disc brakes. We call it brake pads. On brake drums, we call it a brake lining. And all the buses on all four wheels, they have drum brakes. So I call it brake lining. You will hear some students and trainers call it brake pads. It's okay. I try to correct them. They don't want to correct themselves. It's okay. It's up to them. But the correct term is brake lining. Brake lining is properly mounted and secured. And the specifications on it is not less than 1/4 inch. That's the specifications. But in the CDL handbook, it says it is not dangerously thin. So at DPS, they are trying to look for that word, dangerously thin. But if you want to say it's not less than 1/4 inch, they should pass you. They should not mark you off on that, because that's the correct specifications for the brake lining. After the brake lining, that completes my whole brake system. And done with that, now I'll start with my tire. Now the tire,
It's a virgin tire.
yes, I really don't like that term. I don't feel comfortable using that term. And I just say it's new tire or unused tire, because on buses you can put used tires, not on the front,
Yeah.
on the back. On the front, it's a new tire or brand new tire. It's not really specifically a brand new tire, as you can see. It's been on there for a while. So it's a brand new tire. The tread depth should not be less than
432.
430 seconds.
430 seconds.
430 seconds, and you understand the 430 seconds? It's 430 seconds off an inch.
Okay.
So it should not be less than 430 seconds off an inch. It's this indicator, actually it's right at 430 seconds. And when this tire gets to this, it's about to change that tire. So that's the indication. It's not on the test. I'm just giving you some fun facts.
Okay.
So the tread depth should not be less than 430 seconds. After that, I go to the sidewall. All the sidewall. Now on this, I use the term ABC. ABC stands for abrasion, bubbles, or cuts. You'll hear some people call it abrasion, bulging, or cuts. It's okay. Whatever makes you comfortable. I go with abrasion, bubbles, or cuts. Bubbles is kind of easy to remember. So no abrasion, bubbles, or cuts. And the inflation should be at manufacturer specifications. You just go like that. You don't need to squat down, look,
Okay.
oh, what's the specification? Open a book or something. You don't have to do that. Actually, there's a specification on here. It says 120 psi. We don't check the tires. We don't check under the hood. We're just teaching you for the DPS.
Okay.
We never ever do that. So the tire inflation is properly inflated to manufacturer specifications. Then I go down to the rim. The rim is properly mounted and secured. Some people call it wheel. The wheel is actually the whole assembly, the tire with the rim. That's known as a wheel. But you're doing it step by step, separate, so the tire and the rim. So the rim is properly mounted and secured. It's metal, so it's not crack, bent, dent, or damage. One additional item, no illegal welds. There cannot be no welds. If it's cracked, they have to replace it. They cannot weld it and send you on your way.
Okay.
That's totally illegal. So no welds over here. And then I'll go to my lug nuts. All my lug nuts, properly mounted and secured. They're tight. There's no shiny threads Shining threads, if you see shining threads, it means somebody over torqued it, like really force it on there. And no rust trails. If you see like rust coming out on the lug nuts, you'll see a little bit of rust.
There is rust there.
It's a little bit, but they're tight. If you see like rust trail, like you notice there's being rust dripping down,
Yeah.
that much is okay. If you see like rust really dripping down, it means they're loose. There's water or moisture getting inside and it's dripping down, so they're loose. We don't talk about these indicators. What these indicators are, they're pointing all in the same direction. It means all the lug nuts are tight. But we don't use these terms at DPS.
Okay.
We don't use these terms at DPS, so don't mention these.
Okay.
After that, you need to mention there's no distortion on the rim. Now, what would the distortion happen if your lug nuts, all of them were loose, or a couple of them were loose, and you're going down the road, your wheel will bounce around on the lugs, and it will make the holes bigger, which is a fail too. So no distortion. You need to remember that. That after that, you come to your hub cap seal, properly mounted and secured, and no leaks. All these hubs, they contain oil in it too for lubrication. And if I pull this cap out, the oil will come out. So it should be present, properly mounted and secured, and no leaks. Last item is the valve stem and the cap. I usually like to take the cap off so I can tell you it's a cap. So the valve stem is properly mounted and secured. The cap is on tight. You don't have to take it off. I'm just demonstrating you how the caps look like. Valve stem is properly mounted and secured. Cap is on tight, and no leaks. One last thing, it's really not on the DPS, but if they ask you how would you check the inflation in the tire, or check the air in the tire with the tire gauge. But we don't, as I mentioned earlier, we don't use the tire gauge. We use that tire thumper and thump the tire to hear, okay, got air in it. So that's all the driver's side inspection.